What's up, everyone? As I'm recording this video, the NBA draft will occur literally just one day from today. Knicks fans have to be super anxious about who their team is going to take on draft night. As a team that's rebuilding, it's absolutely critical that the Knicks hit on their number 8 pick. The Knicks haven't had a great time in the draft as of late, but they did manage to land two solid young building blocks in RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson over these past couple of years. But the Knicks need more young talent. As of right now, we have no idea who the Knicks are going to take with the number 8 pick, but based on reports about the Knicks workouts and interviews, we have a good idea of who the Knicks might take. So in this video, we're going to look at the top 5 prospects the Knicks may potentially draft with the number 8 pick. But before we continue, if you like content like this, please like the video as it really encourages the YouTube algorithm to recommend it to more people, and please subscribe as it really helps my channel grow. Now let's get started. The first player I want to talk about is Devin Vassell, who is definitely on the Knicks' radar. The Knicks traveled to Vassell's church gym in his hometown to watch him work out. The Knicks have also talked to his head coach at Florida State, so it would appear that the Knicks are high on Devin Vassell, as they should be. Vassell is the prototypical 3-and-D wing in this draft. He's got good size at 6'6" with a 6'10" wingspan, which should allow him to be pretty versatile defensively. He's pretty good both as an on and off-ball defender, and he was an elite outside shooter at Florida State as he shot 42% from 3 through both years. Now, some fans were concerned about Devin Vassell's form after a video came out of Vassell shooting with a really ugly release, but Vassell's camp has made it clear that he hasn't changed his form up. More than likely, he was just playing around. With that said, I think Vassell is a pretty safe bet to be a solid 3-and-D wing player in the NBA. For the Knicks, this is exactly what they need. They desperately need to put shooters and defenders around their young duo of RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson, and Vassell fits that bill. A player like Vassell should make the Knicks better on both ends of the court, as he gives the Knicks a good wing defender while giving them a knockdown shooter who will create driving lanes for RJ Barrett. This is critical for the Knicks, as last year RJ Barrett proved to be a great slasher, but he was inefficient in large part due to play with the worst spacing in the league. I think Vassell would be a great fit on this current Knicks roster, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Knicks take him with the number 8 pick. The next player I want to talk about is a speedy point guard out of Alabama named Kyra Lewis Jr. Kyra has been projected to go in the 20s for most of the year, but he's rising up draft boards as of late. NBA scouts are loving Kyra's ability to break down the defense with his elite quickness and get to the rim, and they also love his shooting ability. The Knicks also appear to be big fans of Kyra, as it was reported that they not only worked him out, but they also wined and dined with him recently. On the season, Kyra averaged 18.5 points, 5.2 assists, on 46% shooting from the field, 37% from 3, and 80% from the free throw line. Kyra Lewis Jr.'s stock may have been even higher had the NCAA season had not ended, because he was really heating up. Here, looking at Kyra's game log, we can see he had a 30-point and 8-assist game, a 25-point and 6-assist game, a 17-point and 11-assist game, a 10-point and 13-assist game, and a 37-point and 7-assist game. And these are just a few. So Kyra was really heating up right before the season ended. Kyra, to me, is potentially the steal of the draft. He's got excellent driving and finishing ability, along with the ability to shoot the ball at a high level and be a solid playmaker. Fans are going to look back at this draft and wonder why he wasn't taken higher if he falls out the top 10. Now, the naysayers are going to say that he's small because he's only around 6'1" barefoot, but he's put on 15 pounds since the season ended, and he's got a 6'5" wingspan, which is pretty good length for the point guard position. He reminds me a lot of Dennis Schroeder, another super fast point guard who hasn't ever been an all-star or anything, but he's been a high-quality point guard for most of his career. For the Knicks, this is just what the doctor ordered because they've been so bad at point guard for so long. The Knicks reportedly are letting go of Elfrid Payton. DSJ might have been the worst player in the league last year, and while Frank is a good defender, let's be honest, his offense is atrocious, and the Knicks are on record for saying they don't really view him as the answer at point guard. So Kyra, to me, would be an excellent pick for the Knicks at number 8, and I do think there's a solid chance that they do take him on draft night. The next guy I'll talk about is Hayes. Killian Hayes is a 6'5" point guard out of France, and in my opinion, he's easily the second best point guard in this draft, right after LaMelo Ball. The Knicks reportedly are high on Killian Hayes, so don't be shocked if the Knicks draft him if he's still there at pick number 8. Unfortunately, they had to cancel a workout with him due to a COVID outbreak in the Knicks practice facilities. So why are the Knicks so high on Hayes? Hayes is a big point guard that, for starters, brings excellent passing at the point guard position. His playmaking skills is right there with LaMelo Ball, where he's really good at finding the open man, especially out the pick and roll. Hayes' court vision is just insane. He's also got a really nice handle, which helps him to get to the rim at will, where he's a strong finisher. Hayes also is good on the defensive end. He isn't a great on-ball defender due to not having great athleticism, but he's a great team defender thanks to his high motor and high basketball IQ. This is largely why Hayes averaged 1.5 steals a game for his team in Germany. Hayes' main weakness right now is his lack of an outside shot, but I do think that's an area of his game that can be developed. Hayes does have a nice pull-up jumper from mid-range, and he did shoot 90% at the free throw line, and free throws are a good indicator of shooting ability. He's got a good touch on his shot, so I do think he could eventually develop a reliable NBA 3. Hayes is also pretty left-hand dominant, so that's another area of his game that needs to be addressed, but I do think that could improve with NBA coaching. Overall, I think Hayes is a nice pass-first point guard who would be a great fit on the Knicks roster. RJ isn't a primary ball handler yet, so drafting an unselfish point guard that can carry the offense, throw lobs to Mitch, and grow with the young core would be amazing. Killian Hayes is my personal favorite player for the Knicks to get, and if he's there at number 8, I would take him at a heartbeat. Another player the Knicks have interest in is Cockerell. The Knicks did interview and work out with Cockerell recently. Cockerell is the best wing defender in this draft. He's a 6'6" player out of Auburn with a 6'9" wingspan. He's a great defender, both as an on and off ball defender, thanks to his size, strength, and athleticism. I think Cockerell will be a great defender in the league, but his offense is a mixed bag. Thanks to his athleticism and solid handle, Cockerell is pretty good at slashing and scoring at the rim. He shot 61% at the rim for Auburn this year, which is excellent. The problem with Cockerell is that he's a complete non-shooter at this point. Cockerell shot 28% from 3 for Auburn and just 65% from the free throw line. So as we can see, his shooting needs a lot of work. I think Cockerell can be a great two-way player one day, but with his lack of shooting, it's fair to call him a project. I think Thibodeau would love Cockerell because we know he prefers defensive-minded players. But I think he's an iffy fit with RJ and Mitch, as the last thing the Knicks need around them is another non-shooter. But I do like Cockerell's upside, and if developed right, I could see him turn into a great player on both ends of the floor like Jimmy Butler. The last player who I think there's a strong possibility the Knicks might draft is Obi Toppin. Obi is a 6'9" power forward out of Dayton who put up strong numbers while leading Dayton to one of the best records in college basketball. On the year, he averaged 20 points, 7 boards, and 2 assists per game on 63% shooting from the field, 39% from 3, and 70% from the free throw line. Obi is a scoring machine. He's able to score in the post really well and put the ball on the floor to get to the rack. He's also a stretch big that can hit the 3 ball at a high clip. With that stretch 4 potential, I can see him as a fit on the Knicks, but I'm concerned about his defense. Obi not only lacks defensive effort, but his feet are pretty slow, so he'll likely be an awful defender at the NBA level, and I'm not a big fan of big men that can't defend in today's league. Nevertheless, I can easily see the Knicks still taking him at number 8, as they likely will view him as the best player available. I don't like that pick for them, but there's a good chance the Knicks do take him if he's there. So, those are the 5 prospects that I think the Knicks are high on right now. I think that on draft night, the Knicks will end up with one of those 5 with the number 8 pick. Anyway, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Of these 5 guys, who do you want the Knicks to select on draft night? Or is there another player besides these 5 that you would rather see the Knicks take with that 8 pick? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and sub and enjoy the rest of your day.